Hello student, good morning. Myself Sri K.D. Borse sir, biology subject teacher. In previous lecture we learned respiration and circulation chapter content concepts, different between external respiration and internal respiration. Also we learned in previous lecture cellular respiration. Whole respiration process consists of 4 steps: breathing, external respiration, internal respiration, and cellular respiration. We learned in previous lecture also regulation of breathing. Pons varoli and medulla oblongata are main regulatory center of the breathing. We also learn modified respiratory movement. Today we learn some more concept including respiration and circulation chapter, common disorders of respiratory system. So let us start. Different common disorder in respiratory system of man. In our syllabus, total 8 common disorder of respiratory system. Number 1, emphysema is one of the common disorder. Second, chronic bronchitis. Third, acute bronchitis. Number 4th, sinusitis. Number 5th, laryngitis. Number 6, pneumonia. 7, asthma. And 8, occupational respiratory disorders like silicosis, asbestosis. So we learn one by one all these here noted common disorders of respiratory system. So let us start number 1 first. Common disorder of respiratory system known as emphysema. Emphysema is one of the common respiratory disorder. Its symptoms has breakdown of alveoli. Alveoli is functional unit of the respiratory system process. So such alveoli are breakdown seen in emphysema disorder. Also shortness of breath. So these two symptoms seen in emphysema disorder. Normal alveoli look like this type, and the emphysema alveoli are damaged. Seen alveoli are damaged. So damage or breakdown alveoli create one of the serious disorder known as emphysema. Such emphysema disorder or disease are caused by smoking or air pollution. Smoking or air pollution cause emphysema disease. Such emphysema disease treated by avoid smoking or quiet smoking, also avoid polluted air, and administer oxygen to relieve. Here noted symptoms, causes, factor, and treatment. Always remember what are the symptoms of emphysema: breakdown of alveoli, shortness of breath. How cause emphysema? Due to smoking or air pollution cause emphysema disease. How treat emphysema disease? Quiet smoking or avoid smoking, also avoid polluted air, and administer oxygen to relieve. Up to this we detail discuss first disorder of respiratory system known as emphysema. Second one is chronic bronchitis. It is also one of the serious common disorder. Symptoms seen in chronic bronchitis: coughing, shortness of breath. Seen here diagrammatic representation. Due to chronic bronchitis, bronchi inflammation and excess mucus is discharged in the bronchi, and due to this shortness of breathing and coughing like problem seen in chronic bronchitis. Causes factor of chronic bronchitis is also smoking and air pollution. Due to smoking or air pollution, chronic bronchitis disease occurs in respiratory system. How treat chronic bronchitis? Quiet smoking or avoid smoking. Also avoid polluted air. If possible, move to warmer or drier climate. If possible, move to warmer or drier climate. These are the treatment measure. Here noted symptoms, causes, factor and treatment measure. Chronic bronchitis. Hope that you understood everything. Now third one is acute bronchitis is one of the serious disorder. How acute bronchitis occurs, what are the symptoms of acute bronchitis, and what are the treatment measure of acute bronchitis, we learned in detail. Symptoms of acute bronchitis: inflammation of bronchi. Trachea is divided into two, right and left bronchi. So such bronchi are inflammation. Shortness of breath is also one of the symptoms of acute bronchitis. And yellow mucus cough up seen in acute bronchitis. Seen here, acute bronchitis, inflammation of bronchial tube, and due to this inflammation of bronchial tube, shortness of breath, yellow mucus cough of seen in the bronchial region, and due to this coughing takes place. Such disorder caused by bacteria or viruses, means this disease is caused by viruses or bacteria. Due to this inflammation of bronchi, shortness of breath, yellow mucus coughed up. What are the treatment measure of acute bronchitis? If bacterial causes acute bronchitis, take antibiotic. Cough medicine, use vaporizer. Most important, if the bacterial acute bronchitis occurs, take antibiotic, cough medicine, use vaporizer are the treatment measure of acute bronchitis. Here noted different symptoms of acute bronchitis. What are the causes factor? Viruses and bacteria cause acute bronchitis. How treat acute bronchitis? Noted here. Hope that you understood everything. Up to this we detail discuss total 3 common disorders of respiratory system. Now fourth one is sinusitis, is one of the respiratory disorder. How sinusitis occurs? what are the symptoms of sinusitis and how treat sinusitis. Here noted symptoms: inflammation of the sinuses. You know, sinuses inflammation occurs, causes disorder known as sinusitis. Also some symptoms like mucus discharges seen in the sinusitis. Show me with the help of diagrammatic representation. Inflammation of sinuses. Here frontal sinus, sphenoid sinus, ethmoid sinus, septums. So each sinus is inflammation in the internal lining, and due to inflammation of internal lining, sinuses infection is seen in the sinusitis disorder. Seen here, normal healthy sinuses and sinusitis inflammation lining seen here. This is also sinusitis condition. Infection condition means also sinusitis condition, and such sinusitis disorder is caused due to viruses or bacteria. Means sinusitis is also viruses or bacterial disease of respiratory system. Such sinusitis is treated by, if bacterial sinusitis, take antibiotic, decongestant and use vaporizers. Always remember, here noted different symptoms of sinusitis, how cause sinusitis, virus and bacteria cause sinusitis. How treat sinusitis, here noted, if the bacterial sinusitis, take antibiotic, decongestant and use vaporizer. Up to this we detail discuss. Sinusitis is one of the common disorder of respiratory system. Now fifth one is laryngitis. You know, larynx is one of the sound producing organ of respiratory system. So larynx inflammation, vocal cord inflammation and sore throat like symptoms seen in laryngitis disorder of respiratory system. Also hoarseness of voice, आपल्या आवाजामध्ये कर्कश आवाज येतो, असा आवाज देखील लॅरिंजिटिसचं सिम्पटम्स असू शकतं. ड्यू टू लॅरिंजिटिस म्युकस बिल्डअप अँड कफ सीन symptoms laryngitis. Seen here diagrammatic representation. This is the vocal cord and this one is actual normal larynx. Due to inflammation, seen the larynx look like this figure. Inflamed larynx, vocal cord, epiglottis are inflamed, and due to inflammation of larynx, vocal cord, sore throat, laryngitis disorder occurs. Such laryngitis disorder occurs due to viruses and bacteria. Means laryngitis is also viral and bacterial disease of respiratory system. How treat laryngitis? If bacterial laryngitis, take antibiotic, most important. Cup medicine also. Bacterial laryngitis, most important treatment of laryngitis, voice rest. आपल्या व्हॉइसला रेस्ट देणे जास्त गरजेचं आहे. Also avoid irritant and smoke. So these are the treatment measure of laryngitis. And how cause laryngitis? Due to viruses and bacteria cause laryngitis. Here noted different symptoms of laryngitis: inflammation of larynx, vocal cord and sore throat. Also hoarseness voice is also one of the symptom of laryngitis. Mucus buildup of and cough is also laryngitis. Up to this we detail discuss. Laryngitis is one of the common disorder of respiratory system. Now sixth one is pneumonia, is also one of the disorder of respiratory system. Inflammation of lungs. Lungs inflammation is a common main symptom of pneumonia. Due to inflammation of lung, cough and fever is seen in pneumonia patient. Shortness of breath is also one of the symptoms in pneumonia patient. Chill, sweating, chest pain, blood in the mucus. So here noted all symptoms are seen in pneumonia. Not only inflammation of lung, cough and fever is also seen. शॉर्टनेस ऑफ ब्रीथ, चिल, थंडी वाजून येते, स्वेटिंग, खूप घाम येतो, चेस्ट पेन, छातीमध्ये दुखाव होतो, अँड ब्लड इन द म्युकस. म्युकस मधून आपल्याला ब्लडिंग दिसून येतं. अँड दिस सिम्पटम्स आर नोटेड और सीन इन pneumonia. Seen here diagrammatic representation. Inflammation of lungs. Here note this symptoms is inflammation of lungs. Inflammation of lungs. Here bronchioles are constrict. Also here cough, discharge like symptoms. And due to inflammation of lung, cough and fever, shortness of breath, chill, sweating, chest pain, blood in the mucus, seen symptoms in pneumonia patient. How cause pneumonia? Pneumonia cause due to viruses or bacteria. Means pneumonia is also viral or bacterial disease, because pneumonia cause viruses as well as bacteria. What are the treatment measure of pneumonia? Consult physician immediately. Antibiotics, cough medicine. Stay warm condition, provide our body due to pneumonia. Most important, always remember, consult physician immediately. Antibiotic, cough medicine. Treatment measure of pneumonia. What are the causes factor of pneumonia? Viruses and bacteria. Here noted different symptoms of pneumonia. Hope that you understood how treat pneumonia, what are the causes factor of pneumonia, and what are the symptoms of pneumonia. Up to this we detail discuss. Pneumonia is one of the common disorder of respiratory system. Number 7, asthma is also one of the disorder of respiratory system. We learn what are the symptoms of asthma, how causes asthma, and what are the treatment measure of asthma. Here noted symptoms of asthma. Constriction of bronchiole is one of the main major symptoms of asthma. mucus build up in bronchioles. You know, bronchi, right and left divided into bronchioles. So mucus build up in bronchiole is one of the symptoms of asthma. Periodic wheezing is also one of the symptoms of asthma, and difficulty of breathing is one of the symptoms of asthma. Seen here diagrammatic representation. Constriction of bronchiole, and due to this condition, constriction of bronchiole, difficulty of breathing like situation takes place, and such condition are called as asthma. In Marathi ज्याला आपण दमा म्हणतो, जो हवेचा पाईप असतो तोच काय झालेला असतो, कन्स्ट्रिक्ट झालेला असतो. ड्यू टू कन्स्ट्रिक्ट ब्रॉन्चिओल, difficulty of breathing like condition suffer the person, and such condition are called as asthma. Also seen here tracheal constriction, bronchi constriction, and due to this the difficulty of breathing. Also inner lining of bronchiole build up mucus secreted by mucus gland, and due to this difficulty of breathing. How cause asthma? Asthma caused due to allergy of pollens. हवेमध्ये खूप सारे पोलन ग्रेन असतात, त्यांची ॲलर्जी होऊ शकते, किंवा ॲलर्जी ऑफ सम फूड, also allergy of food additives, also pet hair. So due to allergy, pollen, some food additive, pet hair cause asthma. How treat asthma? What are the treatment measure of asthma? Use inhalant to open the passageway. Use inhalant to open the passageway. Also avoid irritant are the treatment measure of asthma. Here noted treatment measure of asthma, causes factor of asthma and symptoms of asthma. Hope that you understood everything. Most of time, what are the symptoms of asthma, what are the causes factor of asthma, how treat asthma, common disorder of respiratory system, like question asked. Now last one is occupational respiratory disorders like silicosis and asbestosis. Silicosis and asbestosis are occupational respiratory disorder. We detail discuss how silicosis, asbestosis occurs in respiratory system, how silicosis, asbestosis is occupational respiratory disorder. Seen here symptoms: inflammation of fibrosis lungs. Common symptoms seen in silicosis, asbestosis: fibrosis, inflammation of lungs. Seen here diagrammatic representation. These are the asbestos fibers or silicose fibers, and such fibers are enter into the alveoli cells. Due to this, the lung alveoli are damages, and exchange of gaseous area becomes damages, and due to this the person suffer inflammation, fibrosis lungs, What causes of occupational respiratory disorder, silicosis, asbestosis? Long-term exposure of dust particles, silica, as well as asbestos particles during the occupation. Means at occupation location, long-term exposure dust particles, silica as well as asbestos particle causes silicosis, asbestosis. Means long-term exposure of silica particle at occupational level or occupation location causes silicosis disease. Long-term exposure asbestos particle during the occupation location causes asbestosis. Both particles are very dangerous to the lungs alveoli cells due to introduced silica asbestos particle in the lungs. Each and every cell of alveoli, inflammation, fibrosis of lung-like symptoms seen in silicosis, asbestosis, respiratory disorder condition. How treat silicosis, asbestosis? How treated silicosis or asbestosis, occupational respiratory disorder? Protective mask and gear during the work is one of the most important treatment of silicosis, asbestosis. Due to protective mask or gear during the work, the silica particle or asbestos particle is not introduced into the lungs through inhalation process. So this is the most important preventive measure treatment of silicosis, asbestosis. Because silicosis and asbestosis both are occupational respiratory disorder, at occupation location mask protection is must, gear protection is must during the work, and due to this the silicosis, asbestosis is controlled. Here noted different treatment measure. What causes of silicosis, asbestosis? What are the symptoms of silicosis, asbestosis? Hope that you understood everything. Up to this we detail discussed total 8 common disorders of respiratory system. Like number 1, first emphysema, second chronic bronchitis, acute bronchitis, sinusitis, laryngitis, pneumonia, asthma, occupational respiratory disorders like silicosis, asbestosis. Hope that you understood everything. Review today's topic. We learned today common disorders of respiratory system like emphysema, chronic bronchitis, acute bronchitis, sinusitis, laryngitis, pneumonia, asthma, occupational respiratory disorders like silicosis and asbestosis. On the basis of today's lecture, some exercise question noted here. MCQ questions. Number 1, break down alveoli of lung resulting in reducing surface area for gases exchange is known as pneumonia, emphysema, sneezing, tuberculosis. Yes, the correct answer is emphysema. breakdown of alveoli of the lungs. B. Emphysema. Second, emphysema is condition resulting from cigarette smoking, liquor consumption, drugs addiction, both B and C. The correct answer is cigarette smoking is a condition resulting from emphysema. Hoarseness of voice, mucus buildup and cough-like symptoms seen in pneumonia, emphysema, laryngitis, asbestosis. The correct answer is laryngitis. Due to laryngitis, symptoms seen hoarseness of voice, mucus buildup and cough-like symptoms. So correct answer is C, laryngitis. Now short answer question. Number 1, name any 2 occupational respiratory disorders. Yes, silicosis and asbestosis are occupational respiratory disorders. How occurs silicosis? Due to long-term exposure of silicon particles at occupational location, silicosis, one of the serious major respiratory disorder occurs. Use inhalant to open passage way like treatment for dash dash respiratory disorder. Yes, asthma respiratory disorder. Number 4, name any 2 viral and bacterial respiratory disorders. Yes, sinusitis and laryngitis are viral and bacterial disorders. What are the main symptoms of sinusitis? Yes, inflammation of sinuses and build-up the mucus in the sinus are the main symptoms of sinusitis. Match column A with column B. In column A, asthma, emphysema, silicosis, asbestosis, pneumonia. In column B, inflammation of fibrosis, lung damage, inflammation of lung, chill, sweating, pain, chest, blood in mucus, constriction of bronchiole, difficulty in breathing, breakdown of alveoli. In A column, asthma, number 1, match with constriction of bronchioles, difficulty in breathing is like symptoms seen in asthma. So 1 is matched with C. Second, emphysema. Yes, emphysema is one of the respiratory disorder, breakdown of alveoli. So 2 match with D, emphysema, breakdown of alveoli. Silicosis and asbestosis. Yes, silicosis and asbestosis, inflammation of fibrosis of lung damages like symptoms seen in silicosis and asbestosis. So 3 match with A, pneumonia, inflammation of lung, chills, sweating, chest pain, blood in mucus like symptoms seen in pneumonia. So 4 match with B. Up to this, today's lecture completed. Hope that you understood everything. If you like the video, then you can subscribe my YouTube bioinfo channel. tap the bell icon and like the video. If any doubt about today's lecture, mention in comment box.